This is a help video for 2.13 Unit Test Part 2. If you're in Honors Algebra 2, I know that you do at least one TGA for every single unit, so you do more TGAs. There's a couple things that I would probably point out on this particular TGA. I'm going to do an example for each problem. And I'm going to use Desmos to help me graph. And so you can annotate on your graphs. Like I tried to do this with my mouse and download it and go to annotate, and you can annotate on your graph. So you can do that with your mouse. Some of you might have a slate, but you don't necessarily have to have a slate. I do have some students that just print out the TGA, they print out the PDF, and they just take their pencil or their pen and they draw the graph in, and then they take pictures of their problems, and then they submit those pictures into their Dropbox. You can do it however you want, okay? So I actually have this TGA downloaded, and I'm going to annotate on my TGA, and then if I were a student, then I would save it and then submit it that way. But I do have some students that still like to print it out if you have a printer and just draw in the graphs. So we'll start with this one. So number 1 says graph the function f of x equals the cube root of x minus 2. I have an example that's similar. I'm going to open up a tab and I'm going to go to Desmos. I have it bookmarked, but you can just Google DESMOS. You can see the website right here. It's just desmos.com. It's a free grapher. I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to type in the equation that I made up that is similar. So I want to do f of x equals. There's a keypad down here on the bottom of Desmos, and to get the cube root, you're going to have to hit this function key. If you're doing just a square root, you can use that key, but you're going to go to that function key, and you're going to drag all the way down to the bottom. And then that's where you're going to find where you can put in a cube root. So you're going to click on that button. You'll have to put the 3 in. And then you'll click underneath the radical. And let me go back and look at the problem, x plus 4. And then you'll type in x plus 4. Except I did not get the x in the right place. X plus 4. There we go. So I'm going to close this window just so I can kind of drag this around a little bit. And then I want to put this graph on my TGA. So I'm going to click on some specific points. This point is at 0, 4. That's one thing Desmos is pretty good at, is you can click and point and get some specific points. On this graph, I'm probably going to do 3 points. So I'm going to graph 0, 4. So that's going to be right here. You can click like anywhere, but you're going to get like crazy decimals. So I'd go to where it looks like you have a really good point, kind of like right here. Looks like I have a pretty good point. That's at -8. Looks like -8 up 2. So -8 up 2 is over here. So I'm just going to do 2 more for -8 and then up 2. You can pick any 3 points. You're probably going to need about 3 points for this one. That looks like a really good point. That's right 8 up 6. So again, right 8 up 6 would be about right there. And then you're going to sketch that curve in. It's going to look like this. What I don't want you to do, your graph doesn't have to be beautiful, but I do want to see some specific points. Okay, I don't want to just see something that looks like this, like you've just taken no time and there's no accuracy at all. So I do want to see some specific points so I know that you at least were trying to look at something like Desmos. Okay. All right. I'm going to go to the second one. It's the absolute value of x minus 3 plus 2. So I'm going to go back to my Desmos. I'm going to just click and delete that and type in a new equation. The absolute value is going to be in this keypad. It's going to be right here above the ABC. And then it's x minus 3 on the inside. So click on the inside, x minus 3. And then I think on the outside, so I'm going to click the arrow to get outside the absolute value. I think it's +2. And then again, I would pick a few points. The V is a little bit easier. The absolute value is always going to make your graph a V. So the V is a little bit easier to graph. So I'm going to get the tip of my V. That's at 3, 2. So then I'd go back to my graph. I'd go right 3 and up 2. Make a point. Looks like it crosses the y-axis at 0, 5. And then over here, that's 10, 10, 9. It's going to be kind of hard for me to get 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be somewhere up here, but we're making a V. So at least these 2 points. All right. And the last one is f of x equals negative x plus 1 squared minus 3. So f of x equals, I'm just using the dash on my keyboard, and then parentheses, x plus 1 squared. Click on the inside, x plus 1, parentheses. You can use the power button. It's right here. You can also hit squared. It'll square what you have. Minus 3. Subtract 3. All right, close this. And then here's my parabola. So again, I might look for where it crosses the y-axis. That's at 0, negative 4. And then this is at 1, negative 3. So 0, negative 4, negative 1, negative 3. And then let me see if I can get one more point. This point right here is at negative 2, negative 4. So left 2, down 4. If you can get 3 points, that'd be really good on all 3 of these graphs. 3 points really kind of helps you sketch that in. And then I know the graph's going to go forever down. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go back over these 3 again, just in case I was going too fast. On this first one, you're going to use cube root. But remember, this is the equation that you're going to put into Desmos. When you're doing the cube root, I'll show you again real quick. You're going to do f of x equals. You're going to open up your keypad. You're going to go to functions, and you're going to slide it all the way down, and you're going to choose this radical with an n on it, and then you'll put your 3 on the top. You'll click inside, put whatever you need to put inside, and then if you need to go outside, you would click the right arrow and type anything that's outside. Okay, that's the first one, the cube root. The second one has absolute value in it, so we would, let me just back it up. Your absolute value symbol's right here on your keypad. Remember, sometimes the keypad's closed and you have to open it up. So you click the keypad, you would type whatever you need to type inside, whatever it might be. Then you arrow over if there's anything on the outside. You would type it on the outside, and then you would drag your graph around. This one's crazy because I just made up some numbers. I can make this 9 smaller and it wouldn't be so crazy up there. And then again, you could just click and hold, and it's going to give you ordered pairs. And then you just put those ordered pairs on your graph. And then the last one is, it's got a parenthesis squared in it. So you'll do left parentheses, you'll put whatever goes on the inside, right parentheses. You can use this button to square it. And then if there's something on the outside, you can put something on the outside. And then again, you've got your parabola, which is your U. You can just click on it to find specific points, and you can take those points and put it on your graph. And then you could put your own graph in there. Okay, hopefully this was helpful. So remember, these are just examples. Please do not put the same exact examples that I have. That would be incorrect. Okay, make sure that you're looking at, the problem that you're given. I just gave you 3 examples that had the same math symbols in it, just so I would have examples on how to show you how to put that in Desmos. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any other questions, let me know. Thanks.